Good evening and welcome to round 17 of the ANZCAR Cup, coming to you tonight from Nashville Super Speedway. I'm Matt Hunter and I am flying solo tonight, which is a bit of a surprise. We'll see how we go. We might be able to get some help come in a little bit later on. Not sure about that. So yeah, let's see how we go flying solo. So obviously round 17 of 36 from Nashville Super Speedway. Only one server tonight. Due to the maintenance, we've had to bring up the time of the start of the race earlier. And so the cars have all qualified. So we'll just quickly run through the grid now. And we'll get all the images to load correctly. So looks like in first place we've got Brenton Hobson with Barry Neal beside him. Row 2 will be Andrew Dyson and Neil Pearson. Row 3, Edward Foster, Ruben Phelps. Row 4, Dave Douglas, Daniel Heddershot. Row 5 will be Josh Mickelmore and Stephen Williams. Row 6 will be Luke Jahir and Jason Martin. Row 7 will be Paul Jackson and Norman Clark. Row 8, Michael Skerlock and Justin Witcher. Row 9, Randy Hinshaw, new name, fresh face. And beside him, Jamie Namkivas. And row 10, Mirko Dorknek and Darren Lobb. Row 11, Tristan Koch and Nigel Patton. Row 12 will be Brad Allison and Matt Patton. Raymond Yeager and Matthew Raymond bring up the 13th row, and row 14 will be Gary Wellman and Billy Hickey. And Noddy Tompkins of the 15th row there. So just while we're waiting for them to kick off, I'm just going to try and hit refresh here on some settings. Hit refresh on that, and hopefully that'll load. These cars look like they're about to roll out now from pit road. Getting there, everything's loading a little bit slow this morning tonight. Here we are, cars are coming out there now. And we're just getting ready now to go. Green. Brenton Hobson will lead them cars off. The commentary sounds a bit weird. It's because I don't really know what I'm doing when I'm doing commentary. Here we go. Green flag's dropped. They're off now. As Hobson leads into the first corner. Good jump for Andrew Dyson there in third place as well, and now in second. Bit of action going on back there. A two wide action. I am hoping that we will have some other people jump in a little bit later on, but I think just because we're the early start, it's just caught people out, but that's okay. We see that good action from Mickelmore, Heddershot and Ruben Phelps there. Ruben Phelps is up in the high line. Luke here looking to go for that middle there in the 43 car. Luke here making the pass there. Jason Martin in the 21 looking to follow through behind him. See if I zoom these cameras out a little bit. Of course, at the front there's sort of single file for the first 10 or so cars. Michael Skerlock having a little bit of a look there. Getting past the 231 car of Paul Jackson. So I just put up a little bit of information about the Nashville Super Speedway there. Of course, the USA track and concrete surface. So I think one of only maybe 3 tracks in NASCAR that's concrete surface. Yeah. Oh, I can hear some noise. I think Mark's here. How's it going? We're good. We're live, and I've just been broadcasting and talking up a storm, and just realised that the microphone's been muted. So yeah, people have been listening to. People have just been listening to the cast for the first couple of minutes. I've been giving a bit of a commentary talk with the mic muted. Great. One of those nights. Yeah, it's also called the race has started a little bit early as well. We've started the race early to cover for server maintenance. Um, so yeah, it's another reason why we're so early. I'm just checking a few things here. So pretty standard. Nashville Super Speedway, yeah. 1.5, yeah, 1.5 mile oval, concrete. So like a Bristol and Dover. That's right. Yep. No, you're right. I'm just trying to catch up. I'm just trying to give people information and try and catch them up, given that they were all muted when I first was talking. So, yeah. So just up the front there, Brendan Hobson's just leading the way from Andrew Dyson there. Not surprised there. I expect last year I saw Hobson in the Xfinity car at Nashville Super Speedway, and he was pretty quick, pretty strong there. And Andrew Dyson in the Xfinity race this season also was pretty strong. Of course, that was here a couple of weeks ago. So not surprised to see those guys up the front. Yeah, he does. I'm just going to just quickly check something. I'll be right back. Yeah, so unfortunately, I've just checked that. I've just found that we have no audio going out for the racing, so no engine sounds, unfortunately. I don't know why that is. I'll continue having a little look and see if we can do something here, but microphone is going out, so that's okay. It has. It's been one of those nights already. It's rather frustrating when you get prepared and all set up and ready to go early, and everything just doesn't work properly. So, but that's what it is. So I don't know why it's not picking up our desktop audio there. It's a bit annoying. All right, so just to have a little bit of a look through the field here. We see Michael Skill up there on the back of Jason Martin. Jesus, everything's slow. This is, yeah, Windows updates probably. And, just having a look there. What I might actually look at doing is I'm debating whether we stop the stream and start again and try and get this audio working properly. I think we'll do that. Okay. I'll just put a note up. So I'm just checking up a note here. Just bear with me here, just prepping to do this as quickly as possible. Okay, so I've set the note out there. I'm going to, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, I'm going to stop the stream and then I'm going to restart it. I've got to restart our OBS software and see if that resolves our audio issue. So I'm going to do that now. We'll be back momentarily.
Yeah. Just no, I
Right,
can't
and welcome
find.
back. So we have quickly restarted the streams. I'm just making sure that all the streams are back up and working correctly, and making sure we get audio coming through as well. Excellent. Yeah, we have audio of the cars coming through now, so that's great. Right, let's try and catch up and see where we're at. Let's have a look. So out front, we actually have Barry Neal. Unfortunately, while we've been away, we've missed a whole bunch of action because Barry Neal is now in first place. Andrew Dyson is in second. Edward Foster has moved up to third, and Brenton Hobson's dropped down to fourth. When we sort of last checked, he was running in first place, so I'm not sure what's happened there. He might be saving tyres a little bit, or or maybe just got run down on pace. But I see Micklemore's having a pass now. Actually, I've just thought of it. I've just remembered what it is. So I know that the cars are right on the limit for making it home on one pit stop. So they're right on the limit for pitting at lap 70 and then not having to pit till the end of the race again. So you've got to sort of save a little bit of fuel to make it to lap 70, and you'll look after that right front tyre. You can look after
I was going to say, got to look after those right side tyres, otherwise you won't make it home on the one stop.
Stopper. So I would say that I think Hobson's running that strategy because he's now dropped down to 7th place, and he's definitely slow. I think 2 seconds a lap slower than his fastest lap time at the moment. He's running.
Okay, I've got my live timing up now, and I can keep an eye on both platforms now. So if you're out there and you want to send us a message, go right ahead. I've finally got everything up and running, and hoping that it stays running for us.
Got side-by-side action here. Dave Douglas looking to make the pass on Hobson. And then behind there is Jason Martin, I believe. Is that? Yep, looking to make the move on Daniel Heddershite. Did I say it properly? I'm not sure. Say it properly, but
he's got it done. But he's got it done. But I don't count Daniel out from coming back and having another go at him.
No.
So.
No, I think they've found a nice place now where they're just going to run sort of 2 seconds a lap off their fastest lap time and just save the fuel. See if they can make it to lap 70.
Just looking at the fastest person out there at the moment is Mirko Satani.
Automatic, yep.
He was pulling 280. I think this is in kilometres.
Yep.
Oh, it's 280 kilometres in speed, so he's fairly quick out there.
Yeah, he just ran his fastest lap, I think. Not quite. Yep. Yep, I think he ran his fastest lap.
Yeah, lap 24. So yeah, it would have been that last lap that he did. It was his fastest lap. So that's pretty good pace. Still it's only early in the race, but it's not a bad race.
Yeah, not a bad start.
And I mean, he's sitting down in 22nd, but this is a funny track. It tends to groove up low, and then later in the race, if you get enough guys up, you can actually get three lanes around here. So, but it looks like a lot of them are a single file at the moment. So it may take a fair bit of time for those top two grooves to come in.
It might do, yeah, indeed. Of course, if you're just joining us, we did have to start the race a little bit early tonight because iRacing has their maintenance tonight, and so to be able to get the race fit inside the maintenance window, we had to start it a little bit earlier. You haven't missed much because we've had basically technical issues for the first 20 laps, so yeah, we didn't really have much action going on there. So far, pretty much, Hobson got the pole position, led the field off, but he has purposely dropped back to 6th, looking like it's possibly because you can stretch a fuel tank out to lap 70, and that will mean you can get home with one pit stop. So if it goes green, you're only going to pit once. So we're seeing a bunch of cars saving fuel, also saving the right front tyre, and yeah, that's the state of play at the moment.
The other thing too, Matt, got to watch is who's going to be brave and just take the right side tyres in that pit stop and run that left side all the way. I know I've done it here and it has had a benefit, but I've also had it backfire on me too.
Yeah,
it'd be interesting.
I think if you're putting at lap 70, your fuel is going to cover your tyres. Like, you're going to be sitting stationary for 13 seconds for fuel anyway. You might as well get your tyres because that'll be covered at the same time. So you would go for 4. I think you'd probably only want to roll the dice with two tyre strategy if we get a few cautions and stuff, and it sort of mixes up the, you might be only fueling for 30 laps, for example, so you don't have to sit still for the full 13 seconds sort of time.
Yeah, definitely. But it is another strategy that some people will consider. Just have to wait and see who's the brave.
Yeah, well, I mean, actually, just thinking about it now, thinking about last week with Sonoma, where the tyres didn't really wear, it could actually be a real possibility that you could do 70 laps, chuck 2 tyres on it, and do another 70. So it may be a possibility. As we're just looking here at Justin Witcher and Norman Clark having a bit of a battle for 13th and 14th spot. Ruben Phelps there in 15th behind as well. In the 06 car.
I know Ruben's been having some trouble with his equipment.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's just not like in our race last Saturday night. He just couldn't get comfortable with the equipment. And I think he's actually going to lash out and buy some better equipment in the next couple of weeks. So
yep.
Definitely may see an improvement in his speed because pedals. He's thinking about pedals more than anything, and pedals will give you probably half a second. I know that doesn't sound a lot, but you put that over 140 laps. That's a lot of time that he can be making up.
Yeah, pedals would definitely help the road course. Of course, there's a lot of road course stuff now. And yeah, I think that certainly would help as well. And if you're going to start upgrading your gear, pedals are probably one of the first sort of items to look at. You probably get the biggest sort of immediate improvement from pedals, maybe.
Yeah, look, I I was using a G27 for a long time. I had my Fanatec stuff here. I didn't want to change over to Fanatec until I had the triple screens. And
Hmm.
I changed over, and that definitely helped with the feeling the car. So it's a big thing, equipment.
It is, yeah. It is. Certainly the entry level stuff serves its purpose to a point, but yeah, if you really want to start sinking into the hobby, it's good to get really good equipment. And there's lots of good places around and lots of good brands as well that
Yeah,
can supply you equipment.
that's the thing. Like, there's so much out there now in what you can and can't buy. I mean, say I'm not bagging Logitech or Thrustmaster. They're good entry level stuff, but I think you'll find a lot of these guys and a lot of guys that race with us on Saturday night are using Fanatec or better.
Yeah, I think so too. A lot of direct drive stuff now as well. As we see Hedishite start to have a little bit of a look on the inside of Hobson there in the 88 car.
They're fairly spread out at the moment. And Matt Patton, we missed that, did we? Or what happened there to Matt? He's 5 laps down. Is he
5 laps
still in the
down.
race, or is he?
Yeah, let's have a look and see. Yeah, he's still circulating and just having a little look at his car. Doesn't seem to be any obvious damage on his car, so not sure what's happened there. But I'll just try and go back and have a look at that battle. Hedishite's just making the pass on Hobson now. And he gets it nice and done, nice and cleanly done there. Not much resistance from Hobson there. Hobson's just sort of driving to a number, I reckon, sort of fuel saving. As we're 37 laps now in. And don't mind me, I'm just checking everything again.
That's all right. I'm not liking not being able to see actually what's going on. I can't go through the camera angles and have a look and see what's actually going on around the field.
Yeah.
So I do apologise, guys, for not being able to do that and give you a heads up to Matt and say you can jump to a different camera. Yeah.
That's all right. We'll just try and go off the timing screen here and try and find some close battles. As we've got a good line up there from Lecture here in the 43 car in 10th spot, and sort of dropping right back to I think Stephen Williams in the 18th spot. There's good sort of a string of cars there. As Brad Allison's looking to put a bit of pressure on Williams there. He's having a little bit of a look on the inside. Not quite there.
I will do one thing just before I get into trouble. Turn the phone on silent.
Yeah, so it's all just pretty calm, really. I don't know. I think the setup's pretty stable. The track's pretty stable and forgiving. Don't see many guys on the edge looking like they're going to spin out. I think everyone's kind of just logging their laps to get to lap 70, and then from there onwards, I think, yeah, I mean, they might save a fuel and look to save fuel in the early part of the run, but yeah, we might not really sort of see any action till maybe lap 100, unfortunately.
Yeah. So pretty one out racing at the moment. As
It is, yeah.
there's not a lot happening tonight.
There's not. That's what I mean. Like it's a pretty stable setup, and everyone's sort of just going for that
What's
fuel saving run.
What's Paul Jackson doing?
Let's have a look and see. See, Jason Martin's moved up into the 5th spot. He's just slowly moved forward. Paul Jackson. Yeah, there's Paul Jackson there, sitting in the 11th spot at the moment. It's Paul.
Having a nice little battle there with Mr. Mo.
Mr. Moustache himself.
Yes. I'm just going to jump down and see if we can grab Brad up into the broadcast booth while he's on the green. I know he has said he'll do it, but I just want to check before we do it with him.
That's all right. That's okay if he doesn't want to. He's he's concentrating on the racing, on the battles. And we'll just have a little bit of a run through our top 10 at the moment. So in first place we've got Barry Neal still running there. He started second. He's moved up one spot. Having a good solid run so far. Andrew Dyson will be our second place driver. Started third, moved up to second. Edward Foster's currently running in third, started fifth, so he's made up 2 spots. Good run for him so far. Josh Micklemore started ninth, moved up to fourth, so he's moved up for 5 spots there. So maybe not quite the best qualifying effort for him, and but got good long run race pace.
All right, we just gonna see if I can get this done right. I'm better show myself on.
Yep.
Okay, yep. We might switch cameras to Mr. Brad Allison, mate. And good evening, Brad. Mark up in the commentary booth, mate. How you going, Brad?
Very good, thanks, Mark. How you doing?
Good, mate, good. How's your night going so far? Sitting pretty there. Looks like a nice, easy run in 19th at the moment.
Yeah, all the way back in 19th. Look, I'm going as quick as I can. It's not a track I'm used to or a track I like, but yeah, struggling a bit.
How you finding the car handling? Is it sliding around at all?
Yeah, no, look, if you've ever driven a snowplow, you'll know exactly what it's like. Turn 1 and 2, and then she just wants to get a little bit loose coming out of 3 and 4.
Yeah, okay. So what's the plan? Lap 70 pit stop, or just wait and see how things unravel around you?
I've got to tell you, I think I can get the halfway. I mean, I'm not quick, so I'm saving fuel. I reckon I could do a one-stopper maybe.
Yeah, okay. And do you want to give away 4 tyres, 2 tyres, no tyres?
Put 6 tyres on if that fit.
Well, mate, we might let you get back to it, Matt. You got anything to ask Mr. Allison?
No. Just want to have him, concentrate on his driving and see if he can make it to lap 70 for his fuel, and then go from there and keep working his way up.
Yeah, well, my tank's saying I can get 71.2 out of a tank, so that gets me to halfway. So, Matt, you know what teammates are like, and you know what you're like, saving fuel and tyres, so all good.
Yeah, no, there seems like there's a few guys up the front there who have definitely sort of pulled back and sort of trying to get to that lap 70 at least. So, yeah, it'll probably be a bit quiet until maybe lap 100. It might start heating up.
I think exactly what'll happen, mate.
All right, Brad. Thanks.
Go well.
Thanks very much for your time, mate. We'll drop you back down into your team chat.
Back down, mate.
All right, mate. Thanks for your time, mate. And good luck.
Pleasure.
Right, and just recapping up the front here, still no change here. Pretty much all sort of the same distances, really. All sort of just holding and pattern at the moment. I'll continue going through the field. We're up to 5th, so Jason Martin started 12th, now up to 5th. Neil Pearson started 4th, now dropped back down to 6th, but I suspect that's probably he's just holding back a little bit on fuel there. Daniel Hedeshide, he started 8th, currently running in 7th.
I think you'll probably find that it's like what you said, mate. Everyone's trying to save that fuel and save those tyres to halfway.
Yep.
And then maybe get 30 laps on it, and may even see him duck in and grab a fresh set of rubber, and then really put on the battle towards the end.
Yeah, I think so too. I think, unfortunately it's going to be a pretty quiet race for the first sort of 2/3 of it, really. I don't know, it just seems, it's just how these races sort of become this year. Sometimes the car is pretty easy for them to sort of get a handle on, so you don't see the spin outs and cautions that we used to always see. But then some tracks you do see them, so. So David Douglas in 7th. Oh no, sorry, started 7th, but currently in 8th. And of course Hobson, he started first, and he's dropped back down to ninth, but he's definitely fuel saving there. He's 2 seconds a lap slower at the moment. That is the fastest lap time. To give you a bit of an idea of the other drivers in the top 10, they're about 1.5 seconds slower than their fastest lap time. And Hobson's 2 seconds. In 10th place, Luke here, started 11th and currently 10th. Had a good solid run as well. And we'll quickly run through the next ones.
It looks like Luke Mirko may have got into the pits.
Yeah, he might have had enough.
And Tristan Koch. You see,
Yeah,
he's dropped right off. He's now
Tristan,
2 laps down.
Yeah, Tristan has pitted. He has pitted 14.9 seconds for Tristan's stop. So I think Tristan might be one of the ones, he might be on a 2-stop strategy. So it'd be really interesting to see, because he's going to be about 2 seconds a lap faster than everybody else at the moment.
He's coming up behind one of his Brad Allison, so
yeah,
and he's making short work of Brad there. So
yep, he's going to have that speed advantage through the corners and off the corners and down the straights. So it'd be really interesting to see. I like it. It's good. I like it when you might not be in a position to have a good strong run on pace, so you sort of roll the dice and go for a sort of 2-stop strategy. And I'll be really interested to see how it plays out for him in the long run if it stays green.
Yeah.
Yeah, his last lap time in a bit of traffic was a 31.2, and the leaders did a 32.1. As he goes through, this time he did a 30.8. So, yeah, he's looking at probably about a second and a half faster than the leaders at the moment. And of course, he doesn't have to save on fuel, so he can just go flat out.
Abigail wants some Nashville trivia.
Yeah.
So let me see if I can dig some up for you, Abigail.
Yes, we miss Carl. We need Carl back, and
the voice of NASCAR in Australasia.
So yeah, no, Carl's still on the mend, and so we're wishing him well and a speedy recovery.
I'm actually trying dig trivia up for him. He gets when we do our when I do my races and send stuff across to JP that does our broadcasting, when he gets his new computers up and running, I send him 2 pages of stuff, and all our commentators get that, and I tend to try and do a little bit for him here too. So we'll see what we can find out about Nashville. I do know that the guys stopped running here for a few years, and they've only just recently come back to it.
Yeah, as we see, Skirlock is dropping way back on the pace as well. I would say Skirlock's in a position where he wants to save fuel. Yeah, no, of course you've got Nashville Fairgrounds, which is a short track. I think maybe part of the trivia, Nashville might have been a home area for Darrell Waltrip, because I think he did a lot of racing at Nashville Fairgrounds.
So the major events that are held here is, of course, the NASCAR Cup, the Xfinity Series runs here, and also the trucks and the ARCA cars. So they're the 3 major events. The track was only opened in 2001, and it closed in 2011. And yes, it only reopened last year. So that's I think that was the crowning show last year, with the NASCAR coming back to the Speedway. Was the opening of it.
Was indeed, yeah. Of course, Nashville was famous for music as well. Trackhouse Racing, I think, have a bit of a relationship with Nashville, just because of the entertainment industry sort of thing that they're in. See Dave Douglas there looking to make a pass. Who's that? Oh no, he's passing just the lap car number 3, Randy Hinshaw, who new face tonight. I haven't seen him out on the track. I think he's not long joined, so good to see a new fresh face out here. Just sort of counting down. I think we're about 8. Well, we are about 8 to 9 laps away from probably green flag pit stops. We think everyone will be about lap 70, lap 71. A few guys like Michael Scullock's dropped way back to 21st. I think he's having to drastically save fuel to be able to make that lap 70 window. Up front, I would say Dyson's just using Barry Neal as a bit of drafting. Although it looks like Dyson might be putting the foot down. Sort of looking to get a little bit of a build himself a bit of a gap or a buffer before the green flag pit stop.
So the current permanent seating capacity is around 25,000, but can reach up to 38,000 for a NASCAR series event. Additional seats are brought in for some events. I know that they've had some rock concerts held here with different things. So NASCAR Cup qualifying. Who holds the record, do you reckon?
Cup qualifying. Would I have to maybe last year? I think.
Yes, it was definitely last year.
I'd say Kyle Larson.
Nope.
No. Which team was he in?
Eric
Almirola. Yep.
Yes, 29.5 second lap.
Oh, wow.
Did I just see someone ducking it? Yes.
Yep. No, they're Randy Hinshaw ducking into the pits there. He's already 1 lap down, so this is just going to drop him down a bit more. Lap 66, so not sure if he's going to be able to make it from here. Quite a few people sort of pitting now. Justin Witches had a pit stop. Noddy Tompkins. No, Noddy hasn't pitted, he's just gone a lap down. But Justin Witches pitted, but he is 1 lap down as well. But you'll be seeing him carve through the field with those fresh tyres. So
I'll say
I'll keep it on the front here and just. Yeah.
I say Mirko's pulled the pin because he's been in pit lane 7 or nearly 8 minutes. Oh, the leaders are in.
Oh, okay, interesting. So there we go. So lap 67.
So it'd be interesting here to see what these two do.
Yeah, whether they think they can make it home on 72 laps. Sort of a bit of gamesmanship going on there with the speed on pit road. I think we're seeing a whole bunch of cars pitting, are we? Let's see. Oh, we've only got 1, 2 pit stop views. I think we've got Gary
a few
Wellman.
coming in. Barry Neal, Dyson, Michael Skurlock's in the lane.
He's in. So we've had Barry Neal, Daniel Heddershite is coming out of pit lane as well. We'll just chuck the camera on pit lane view too, really, and just see all the cars
Luke
coming
Trahare's in pit lane.
Yeah, it's about to get real busy now, I'd say. Here goes Skurlock. He's done his pit stop and he's coming out.
I would say Barry's only taken 2 tyres or short field because he was in the box for 15.1 seconds and Dyson was in the box for 19.8.
I'm not sure why that. I would expect, I mean, given the numbers that everybody else I'm seeing is about 14 to 15 seconds, so I'm not sure about the 19. Maybe we didn't see it. Maybe Dyson sort of overshot the box and had to reverse back, maybe. Or he might have had a bit of damage to repair.
Yeah.
as we're seeing way down the distance there are quite a few cars sort of pitting. These cameras are slow
Dave
tonight.
Douglas, Paul Jackson, Jason Martin, Brenton
Indeed.
Hobson.
Yeah, so now we've hit lap 71, so we're seeing now a whole bunch of cars. Jason Martin there he's got 2 tyres so far. He's getting 4 tyres there for
4
Jason
tyres,
Martin.
yep.
Paul Jackson in behind him, the 231.
Jamie Nankervis in, Ruben Phelps is in.
Yep, 4 tyres there. It makes sense to get
Ed
4
Foster's
tyres
in.
because you are getting a full tank of gas and it will be covered. Getting 4 tyres will be covered by the time it takes to fill the car up with fuel.
Just trying to watch to see who gets the fastest actual,
Pit
like
stop.
from pit lane to pit exit. So far, Ruben's 42.
Neil Pearson's pulled in from the lead onto pit road. So yeah, so we are seeing anywhere from 14.3 to 15.6 for most standard pit stops. But that longer pit stop hasn't really, in terms of position-wise, hasn't hurt Dyson. He's still sitting behind Barry Neal, but he is that 4 seconds behind him. Although, I've just got my timing loading up. What has happened to Barry Neal? Oh, he's there. Yeah. The timing screen was lighting up. I thought something drastically had happened, like he had to come back in to serve a drive-through.
That's definitely something to if Daiso gets on the podium, we definitely have to find out what happened there, because
Yeah.
that's a big difference, like 3 seconds.
Yep.
And we were watching him, and it didn't look like he was he missed the pit box. If anything, Barry, that's a stop-go penalty there for Jamie Nankervis. Barry slid into his box, so.
No, we'll have to try and find out after that's what happened there. So, as it stands at the moment, chuck that up. Everybody has pitted. So, everyone should be able to make it home now on fuel. They shouldn't need to pit stop again. I imagine they still need to save though, to make it those sort of most part of 70 laps to get back. The 2-stop strategy, Tristan Koch, he is currently sitting in 22nd, 1 lap down still.
So the fastest pit stop there was Justin Witcher, 42.1, and remember this is from pit entry to pit exit. So that was Justin Witcher and Luke Trahere were the 2 quickest guys through pit lane that time round, with a 42.1.
So yeah, that would be from basically cone to cone, really, the start cone to the finish cone.
Yeah. Yeah, when we see Jamie come in that last time, that was definitely a stop-go, because it was only a 2.2 seconds in the box. So
yeah, it was his second pit stop, so I think you're right there. I think he might have sped on pit road at some point and had to come and do a stop-go, which is not ideal. So we'll just have a little look at the lead here. So Barry Neal, good job getting onto pit road and getting off. He has not only has he kept the lead, but he's extended it to 4.9, almost 5 seconds now from Andrew Dyson.
Yeah, something definitely went wrong in that pit stop for Daiso.
Yeah, can't see any damage to his car, so I'm not sure if he got any damage repaired, but it's a bit weird. He's got Michael Skullock right behind him at the moment, but that is not for position. That is Skullock is 1 lap down at the moment, in 20th spot.
So Michael will definitely be looking at trying to get that lap back.
Yeah.
And same with Brad Allison.
I think Michael had to drastically, in the 350, he had to drastically fuel save at the end of that stint to make it. It was kind of a no man's land there, really. He had to do that, otherwise, yeah, 2 pit stops.
I'll just see if I duck down and see what if that was a speeding in pit lane for Jamie.
Yep, no worries. We'll just have a little look at the race summary so far. So 79 laps completed. Barry Neal is the leader. 61 laps remain, and there's been 4 lead changes, no cautions. So far so good in that regard. And Barry Neal is currently out in front, followed by Andrew Dyson. As you see there, Dyson's got a couple of lap cars right on his tail there.
Okay, Matt, I can confirm that it was a stop-go and a hold for 1 second for an unsafe pit exit.
Unsafe pit exit?
Yeah, he ran outside that blue line before the pit exit, so, yeah.
Oh, of course. So we're just having a look here, pit lane there. So there's two lines there where the green cones are. There's 2 lines that go around, and you've got to stay inside those white lines until you merge out onto the track. So he's crossed over one of those lines with just a little bit of tyre. That's all it takes, and yeah, copped a drive stop and go penalty for it.
Yeah, unfortunate because he wasn't in a bad spot up until then.
No, that's how it goes. Unfortunately, one little mistake can ruin your whole night, really.
Yeah, definitely. And Barry's got that lead now out to 5 seconds, over 5 seconds.
Yeah, he's going pretty good. If you have a look at Dyson there, he's been sort of chased by Brad and Michael Skurlock there, but Brad has got past. But I would say, yeah, that Skurlock is still maybe looking to save fuel a little bit. Probably using the draft from Dyson to be able to do that.
Yeah, Brad will be using, because he's out there by himself. He's got no one in front of him to give him any assistance.
No.
So the next person in front is Jamie Nankervis in front of Brad. So you'll probably find that there's a lot of chit chat going on down in that team channel, saying, "Hey, just back it off a little bit there, Jamie, and let me catch up, and we'll team up and we'll get that draft happening between the 2 of them and try and chase people down."
Yeah, because if you can work together and get that little bit of speed boost, but also have that second car saving fuel, it means he'll have the fuel to be able to run harder near the end of the race.
I think if there's too many of these guys get out in the clean air, that they may end up having to do a second stop whether they like it or not.
Yeah, it's pretty spread. Like, I'm looking through the timing screens here and the gaps. Check out the top 15 again to sort of see that there's a good spread of about 1.5 seconds between most cars.
Yeah.
So I see.
Some guys are going to need to, I can't see him making the 70 laps for if they're all running out by themselves, because it's going to be a lot of wind there over the nose, and then you got to try and drive to a number.
Yes, indeed. Oh my god, that's right. Cat problems. Same cat. She always comes in at the same time of night and always tries to jump on the keyboard. Just trying to deal with that.
Yeah, just a message from Trevor. Evening, guys. Dave Douglas, the one to watch after the pit stop. I think he's playing it safe.
Yeah.
So I think you may be right, Trev. Dave is definitely one person that, if he's in that top 10 when you go into that last 20 or 30 laps, you can't count him out. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye out on him there. His last lap was a 31.3, which is faster than Barry. So yeah, I think he's just got to be careful and try and hook up with someone to run down those guys, the guys in front of him. And as you see, he's just passed Justin for ninth, so he is coming forward.
Yeah, I think he's been holding back and saving a little bit on that fuel early in the run, which is what you need to do, and he might be starting to just ramp up the pace a little bit now. The gap at the front's dropped down to about 4 seconds now. I think Barry's sort of working a bit of traffic there. So we'll look at the, it's about 4.6 seconds. So, yeah, Andrew Dyson's about a tenth of a second a lap quicker on that last one.
Yeah, 31.7 plays a 31.18 the last lap.
Barry's got to make sure he's using the traffic well to try and use that draft to save himself a bit of fuel being out there up front. It's a good solid run for him though so far. So Jamie Nankervis is trying to get one of his laps back in the 8 car. Currently 2 laps down.
I actually thought he would have come back to Brad and tried to pull Brad along too, you know. Being teammates. But as Brad said before, he feels like he's driving a snowplow, so Jamie may be that little bit quicker. Let's have a look here.
Yeah, Jamie's got good speed and trying to get as much back as he can as well. You never know with late race cautions, he could be back up in there.
Yeah, they're roughly doing the same laps. Like Brad did a 31.5 and Jamie did a 31.7. So, but then we may be a little bit slow on our timing. So,
yeah.
So we'll just run over the gaps. Barry Mueller, of course, is out the front. Then Andrew Dyson's pulled that gap back to 3.8 seconds. Then third, we have Josh Micklemore, a further 5 seconds back. Jason Martin in fourth, a further 5.7 seconds. And the man that shall not be named, a further 5.5 seconds back. So there's roughly, say, 5 seconds between those top running cars, which is not bearing good for the guys that are trying to chase down Barry.
No, and I think Barry's managing it. I think Barry's, because the gap sort of fluctuates by about half a second or so, and I think Barry's starting to manage that gap and sort of ease out of it a little bit more to try and save a bit of fuel.
Yeah, just watching it then as you were saying that, Matt, it went out to 4, now it's back down to 3, now it's back out to 4.
Yeah, so, it's fluctuating a lot. And neither one of them looks to be in traffic at the moment, so I think, I might jump on board with Barry and just sort of have a listen to the car and see how it's going. Not sure what's going on with the sound issues there. We'll jump into another car soon and see what it does.
You see that Barry's likes that bottom line. He's sticking to that bottom line through those turns, and he's just getting into the red line just before he gets off off the gas there, turning it into the turns.
Yes, indeed. I'm not sure. I think it's maybe just the connection issues that's causing that weird sound there. We'll jump on board with Dyson and have a listen to what he's doing.
Now, don't forget, everyone, if you want up to date, head across to the ANZCAR webpage, www.anzcar.com, and you can get all the latest information on what's happening with the teams, with drivers, and with the league. So make sure you drop by and check it out.
So just while we're riding on board there, Josh Mickelmore has made the pass for second spot. So Josh is up there into second, having a very good solid run tonight.
I think Dyson might be struggling here again tonight. Like, there's a few tracks that he doesn't like, and this may be one of them. by what's going.
No,
But then again, he could be playing cat and mouse. So.
Yeah, I think it's purely fuel. I think he pitted 4 laps sooner than Josh Mickelmore did, so he's got 4 laps of fuel saving to do. I think Josh and a few more takers is there for pit lane. I think Josh and Jason Martin did a pretty good job extending their run in that first stint. And they're about 4 laps to the good compared to Barry in first and Andrew in third. So that's 4 laps of fuel saving they don't have to do. And Ed Foster's in the same boat as well. He is about 4 laps better than those front 2 as well.
Now Ed's closing up on Mr. Mo, but he's not the position. Ed needs to chase down Jason Martin in the car car 21. So right. Who's just in front of Skurlock.
Skurlock there, but Skurlock is a lap down at the moment. So I'm sure Ed, as he's catching up, he'll be trying to use the draft from Skurlock to help him save a little bit more. What have we got? 36 laps to go.
Look, I think Barry may take this one home, although, as you said, you've still got 30-odd laps to go. But I think the battle's going to be for the final podium position.
Yeah.
Between Dyson, Martin and Foster.
Yep, no, I'm really curious to see what's going to happen with the guys who have pitted 4 laps later than the leaders, and see whether it works out for them. So, just responding to a chat. Yeah, I think, Josh Mickelmore on 31 made 71 laps on fuel. And everybody else, I think, well, according to the data I'm seeing, they pitted 4 laps before, so 67. So they're sort of looking at a 72 to 73 lap run to make it to the end.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to do it.
I think they're going to have to slow right down. I mean, the gap between the leader now is down to 2.8.
Yep.
So similar sort of lap times there. So maybe just a bit of traffic in there. But yeah, certainly if I was Barry, I'd be trying to use that lap traffic for drafting and fuel saving as well.
The only problem with is if Barry sits there in that lap traffic, he's got a chance that with the tyres and everything getting on that one of the back markers may not never intentional, may end up losing and taking him out, which hope it doesn't happen for him.
Yeah. So just having a little bit of a look at Tristan Koch. He's made his second pit stop. Okay, that's interesting. Why do we have that on there? Cool. Thank you. We didn't need that notification right now. Thank you very much.
The Windows one?
It's been one of those nights. No, it was NVIDIA this time, so it's been one of those nights. So let's see if we can make it to the end with it actually safely. But yes, as I was saying, Tristan has made his second pit stop because he was pretty much one of the only ones doing a two-stop strategy. Although I do see that Justin Witch has made a second stop as well. But unfortunately, he is now 3 laps down because of doing those 2 pit stops. So just having a little bit of a look. I don't think he's got enough time. Unfortunately, with the length of the races that we run, we don't really get a chance to see the alternate strategies sort of play out. You kind of need more long-term time on them, but yeah. So we go back up the front. So that gap is now 2.2. So yeah, about 0.2 of a second a lap Josh is making up of the 31 car. So Barry just continues to work with that traffic quite nicely. And Jason Martin has moved up to 3rd spot as well. Andrew Dyson's dropped back to 4th. He's got Ed Foster on his tail there. Neil Pearson having another good solid night in 6th spot. Daniel Hedeshai in 7th.
It's going to shake a few things up with Brenton down in 13th.
Yeah. He just hasn't recovered from that. It seems a bit bizarre. Initially I thought that he was saving fuel, but and he's pitted on the same lap as what Mickelmore in the 31 and Martin in the 21 pitted that as well, and Foster too. So he's on the same lap there as what they are. So Josh and Jason have managed to move forward, and Ed too, but Hobson hasn't managed to move forward as the other cars have been saving fuel. Just have a little look for some battles out there. It's a good battle here for the 14th, 15th and 16th spot. Stephen Williams in the green 98, Nigel Patton in the edge 90, and Raymond Yeager in the white 23 there. So battling for 14th, 15th and 16th. just keeping an eye. I think we're going to jump back up to the front because I'm now seeing Nakamura is now only half a second behind. You can kind of see him in the back there of the picture, the 31 car. He's really just going along at the same pace. It's cruising, he's got a good pace, he's staying at that one, and I think Neil in first place is having to sort of back it off and save fuel a little bit to be able to make it to the end. Just have a look from above. Not really showing us there, but we'll keep focused on this battle now, because from the orange Barry Neil car onwards, that is first, second and third as they run on the road there. So Barry in the orange 22, Mickelmore in the blue 31 in second, and Jason Martin in the purple 21 in third.
Also, remember these lap cars don't have to move out of the road for this trio either.
No, I don't imagine they'll make it hard for them. They'll be aware that there's the top three there are all battling, but it's a case of when you're that lap car, you got to work out. You don't want to compromise your lap time too much, but you got to work out when you want to sort of go up high and give them that space to be able to do that. As we see Mickelmore get a run off the corner there, having a little bit of a look on the inside. Neil gives him plenty of room. I don't think he's going to fight too hard there. So still side by side as we go the start finish straight. Into turn 1 and then turn 2. Still side by side. Jason Martin, the 21, will be looking to come through as well. She's doing that now.
Barry's got to be careful here that he doesn't fall back and fall out of the top three, because
Foster's coming as
closing,
well.
yeah.
Yep. Foster is now within striking distance as well.
Foster's now only, he's under a second.
Yep, I see the gap going down as, yeah, I think Barry's really having to fuel save now, because I think, yeah, it's almost like a half second distance in the corner. Just having a look here. Oof, tightens up there with traffic on the exit of the corners.
I'm just trying to work this. At the end of the night, we may see a new leader of the championship.
Yeah, I don't have the championship points in front of me, unfortunately, to have a look.
Well, Brenton Hobson is on top, and Dyson's only 27 points behind. I'm just trying to work out.
Yeah, no, it won't be 27. Yeah.
No, Brendan will hold on to the lead, but only just.
Yeah, I imagine Dyson will probably make up about 8 or 9 points on him. Roughly around.
This is interesting here, because you got Tristan that's a lap down, or 2 laps down, 3 laps down. So he's got to be careful not to hold these guys up, because I know that Dyson won't be happy with him being in there.
Well, I don't think he'll mind. He just needs to, the 550 Tristan, he's got fresh tyres, so he's definitely faster than these cars in front of him. And but you don't want to affect that battle that's going on there for third and fourth place now, is between Foster and Barry Neal there. So Tristan's doing the right thing. He's just sort of staying up high, staying out of the way. You sort of just got to pick your moments, really. Sort of hope for that battle to sort of spread out a bit and die down, and then you can sort of pick them off one by one.
Well, Foster's now gapped
Barry, yeah.
Barry by 1.5 seconds. So
yeah,
you're right, Matt. Barry is definitely in that save that fuel.
Yep, and I think Dyson's in the same boat. Yeah, so and you know they are 4 laps to the worst than the top 3, sorry. So they definitely have to save 4 laps more fuel.
Well, Jason Martin stint is 55 laps, or 56, and both Foster and Micklemore have on 55.
That's
Neil's
right.
on
Yeah.
59, and Dyson's on 59. So, yeah, definitely a fuel save mode there.
So yeah, I have got a little pit stop graphic there. So 55 laps since Josh's last pit stop. 57 now as the laps click over, so it'll be 56 for Josh and 57 for Jason. So yeah, so Josh has got 1 more lap to the good of Jason. And then Foster's on 56 as well, which is the same as what Micklemore has. And then see the difference, we jump onto Barry Neal, 60 laps, so there's 4 laps difference there. It's Tristan's just working his way through with those fresh tyres, but unfortunately a few laps down. We'll jump back up to the front and just see what's going on here. And just a bit of a holding pattern here between the 31 and the 21, although 21 might be wanting to have a little bit of a look.
Whatever you do, boys, don't touch. Race hard, but don't touch.
Don't touch. And it looks like Jason's going to get that move done here on Josh. So far, they're giving each other plenty of room. Josh is holding strong on the outside there. Definitely not making it easy, not going to roll over for Jason.
Who's the team boss?
Josh. Josh in the 31 is the team boss, I believe. And the other thing as well is while these two are fighting each other pretty hard, Edward Foster's just creeping up on the back of them there. He's in within half a second of the lead now, Edward Foster in the 53 car. So just creeping up there. But Jason has cleared Josh now and is sort of sailing away there.
Is Josh going to play a blocker, like make it very hard for Ed to get around him when he does get to him?
I think he'll race him hard. He won't do anything silly, and I mean I'm sure Josh will still be happy with the top 3. So I don't think he'll do anything deliberately to sort of stop, but you won't roll over and let him pass. I mean,
He won't make it easy on him.
No, with 8 laps to go, this is the time now where you do want to sort of fight for those positions. Just try and jump down through the field. Andrew Dyson has made the pass for 4th spot over Barry Neal, and he has cleared away as well. So I think Barry is big time struggling with the fuel. Yeah, I mean, Barry's last lap 32.9 and Dyson was 32.5. The leaders were 32.1s, so it's best part of a second he's dropping there. Just having a look at Pearson there and Heddershire for 6th and 7th. Still ongoing battle there. Dave Douglas running just there out on his own, and a good solid run, 8th spot. Richard here, 9th. Paul Jackson, 10th. Good battle going on here for 10th spot. 231 Paul Jackson, 99 of Darren Lobb, and Norman Clark in the 09. Good to see Norman up, knocking on the top 10 there. And Hobson and 13th spot. Just drop that down. And we're going to see Foster. Oh, 3 wide. Oh, big contact. Oof. So it was a little bit awkward there as they went 3 wide, as there was a lapped car there as well. See if we can get a replay of it or not.
I'd actually stay here at the moment, Matt. This this could be interesting. Although Ed has got a second over him now, so he's pulling away. So
yeah, I think Ed's got that, but I think it just got a bit awkward there because there was
Justin,
there was
Raymond, was it?
Yeah, there was a let's see if we can have a look here.
Another lap.
Yeah. So we had that sort of lap car coming up there. It's sort of 3 wide. A little bit awkward there. Yeah, managed to recover, so it's good. I just think might have been a case that Edward there thought that the lap car wasn't there anymore and Josh had cleared him and had moved up, and so Edward came up a bit, thinking that lane might have been clear. Not realising that the lap car was still on the outside.
That's not for us to call. It's for adjudication afterwards.
And what are we, 2 laps to go now?
But Rubbin is racing in NASCAR, so they may have to come have a play with the 87s and sort it out.
Yeah. Just having a little bit of a look here. Just trying to get a good camera view, really. As we start the final lap.
Final lap.
We'll just stay on with
So Martin, Foster, Nickelmore, Dyson, head of Shield. I'm going to have to talk to Daniel and find out the correct pronunciation of that name.
Indeed.
Pearson, Douglas, Trahere, Mr. Jackson up in the 9th, and Darren Lobb is now up in the 10th.
So
that's the top 10.
Martin's about to cross the finish line, and that's it. Martin gets the win. His first win of the year. He's been pretty solid. Just been chipping away, but yeah, managed to grab the win there. Just having a little look back through here. Darren Lobb has got into 10th spot there. Norman Clark in the 11th as well. Your opponent still moves across the line.
So Norman would be happy with that. He's moved up 3 spots. Darren Lobb would be extremely happy, up 20 spots. Jason Martin up 11 spots for the win. So there's been some good movers. The biggest loser tonight, I would have to say, would be Neil. He started in 4th and dropped down to 6th. No, I
was about to say we missed it
Bretton
because we missed it. Barry Neal looks like he had to actually come back in for a splash of fuel right at the end, because I'm showing him as 2 pit stops, and I think with 3 laps to go he had to pop in and grab some fuel, and he's ended up finishing 21st.
So he's the biggest loser there tonight.
Yep, unfortunately down 19 spots.
I'll just duck down and see if that is the case, mate.
Yep, cool. And while we're doing that, I will check up the results and we'll run through those results. Okay, so in first place was Jason Martin, 2nd Edward Foster, 3rd Josh Mickelmore, Andrew Dyson coming home in 4th, Daniel Hedeshart in 5th, Neil Pearson in 6th, 7th for Dave Douglas, 8th for Luke Trahere, 9th for Paul Jackson, and 10th for Darren Lobb. And in 11th was Norman Clark, Brenton Hobson in 12th. I'm a bit surprised by that. I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe just fuel saving and yeah. 13th, Nigel Patton. 14th, Stephen Williams. 15th, Raymond Yeager. 16th, Ruben Phelps. 17th, Matthew Raymond. 18th, Justin Witcher. 19th, Brad Allison. 20th is Michael Skurlock. I think another victim of the drastic fuel saving. Barry Neal came home in
Yeah,
21st.
just on that, Barry definitely had to get a splash. He said he can't save fuel.
Yeah, unfortunate for him, but yeah, he's come home in 21st. 22nd is Gary Wellman. 23rd is Jamie Nankervis. 24th is Noddy Tompkins. Tristan Koch in 25th. Randy Henshaw and 26th. Matt Patton 27th. Mirko Dortnek 28th. Billy Hickey and 29th, but I'm not sure if Billy started the race or not. So we'll just fade that out there. Okay, well, let's have a look in the green room and see who we've got available.
Oh,
So
Josh isn't there yet. So
let's grab Edward Foster up, second place finish, and I'll put him in the green room now in the broadcast booth. Good evening, Edward Foster. There's the Performance Streaming broadcast booth here. How are you going tonight?
Yeah, not too bad. How's it going?
She's been a bit of a mare, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
we got it on there in the end.
It's like that was it.
Yeah, just one of them nights, mate. Good battle there between in that closing stages, mate. Bit of rubbing happening there.
Yeah, that was totally my mistake, unfortunately. I saw Josh lose a little bit of momentum behind the back marker, and I figured it was only that was going to be my only shot to try and get that spot and potentially get after Jace. And we got right down there on the apron, and then sort of wanted to move him up the track a little bit and not give him the ideal line into the corner, and of course widen my arc as much as possible. But I assumed that the guy on the outside, the lapped car, would have rolled out of it, because that's what they were doing all night. You kind of get next to him and they'd sort of back out of it. I didn't expect him to still be there. I didn't realise we were 3 wide. And unfortunately, I pulled up, got Josh and stuck him in the fence, which I didn't mean to do. But yeah, that aside, really good night. It's obviously a night where experience counts, I think, if you look at the top 3.
Yeah, definitely. That last pit stop, or your only pit stop, what did you take, 2 or 4 tyres?
4. I was taking a full tank of fuel, so there's no reason not to.
Yeah, fair enough. Matt?
No, that's all right. Sorry, I was just doing stuff in the background here. I think you pretty much covered it all there. I'd sort of had, when I saw it happen live, I thought that might have been the case with the incident with Josh, that you might not have known that the lap car was still up the top there, and that's why it'd come up a little bit. So how much sort of fuel saving did you sort of have to do? Was it pretty easy to save the fuel for the runs, or did you have to work pretty hard for it?
I mean, typical me, running into the server with no idea of, anything, how long the fuel went or anything like that. And I saw Hobbo start to drop back, and I saw Pearson start to drop back, and I'm thinking, okay, well, they look like they're saving a little bit. But I was fairly sure going to be able to get to the end anyway. So with around about 10 laps left to the stop, or 10 laps left to half distance, I had about 9 laps of fuel left or something like this. I'm like, oh, hang on, perhaps we can actually do this. So I started clutching it at the end of the first stint. You notice that, I was sort of right up behind Daiso and Neil, and then fell right off. And that was just because I was clutching into the corners and trying to save as much as I could. Managed to just scrape it past half distance, get on and off pit road, and then knowing that that a 70 lap stint was sort of feasible, it was a lot easier to sort of save a little bit every lap through the run. Just sort of lift a little bit early or something like that. And sometimes when I was in the draft behind guys, I was just cracking the throttle a little bit on the straight and letting off, and that was enough to get us in. I actually got in with 2.5 laps fuel left. But one of the things that happens when you're trying to save fuel a lot of the time is you're not accelerating as hard out of the turns and using the throttle to get the car turned. So you're putting a lot more stress through that front tyre, and my front tyre was pretty bad by the end. So I couldn't really do anything more than what I did. I was driving flat out for about the last 20 laps with no fuel concerns at all. Still wasn't able to do anything. So yeah, P2 it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
that first win will come
I've already
sometime
got
this
one, mate.
season.
Technically, he's already got
I
one.
got one at Charlotte.
Oh, that's right, you did too. Yes, sorry. Yeah, yep, that's right. So yeah, my mistake. I missed that. I forgot that one. So I was just going to say your first win will come sooner or later, but you've already had it. So yeah, very close on several occasions. But yeah, almost again tonight. But just that, as you said, that right tyre would have hurt you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too worried about that. I'm not that interested in putting everything on the line for a race win. I never have been. For me, a top 2, 3 is every bit, well, not every bit as good, but perfectly satisfactory. So you don't often see me throwing everything on the line trying to get a P1. It's just not my nature. So it probably explains why I kind of roll around the top 5 and never actually cross the line first. But I'm not too bothered about that.
Well, as you said in other leagues, mate, it's a long season. You're sitting at the moment in 4th place, so heading into the second half of the season, you're sitting there in a good spot. So hopefully some more wins will come your way, and you'll move back to the top and maybe get your 3rd championship.
Oh, look, possibly. I mean, you have a look at some of the quality that's in this series now. Daiso and Hobbo, for example, who have been, I guess, the 2 dominant characters so far. They're 2 of the best sim racers in the country, full stop. Doesn't matter what
definitely.
kind of car you put them in. So to be able to get up there, run with those guys, occasionally beat them as well, it's pretty good. But I'm just sort of waiting to see that first real wheel-to-wheel battle between those 2, because you always seem to find every race it's either one is up and one's down, or the other one's up and the other one's down, and you never really get that big wheel-to-wheel fight between the 2 of them. So I'm kind of interested to see that from a neutral perspective. But we'll see what we can do. Didn't win a race all regular season last year, but of course last year there were so many different race winners as well. I think we had 14 winners across the year. This year's kind of had a couple of fairly dominant characters in it, so it might be a little bit harder to scrape through just on top 5s. But you can only do what you can do.
Yeah, I'll just look at the stats now. There's been, so far this season, there's been 5 different race winners. Both Brenton and Andrew have taken 4 each. So you're right in saying that it's going to be a ding dong battle when those 2 do get together and have a wheel battle at some time through the year, and it's bound to happen too.
I think Daiso's technically got 5 because he got the Daytona 500 as well, but that
Yep.
the software doesn't pick that up when you've had a winner DQ'd and P2 moves in. So actually got 5. But yeah, it's an exciting season from a neutral perspective, especially if you're following either one of those drivers. And I guess the rest of us are just kind of hanging around here in the background trying to pick up the bits when and if the opportunities present themselves, and we'll see how it all shakes out at the end of the year.
Yeah, what I've found this year, Ed, is that, like you said, there are so many guys now in this league that can win. You've just got to get, and I've always said this, you've just got to buy that ticket to those last 40 laps, and anything can happen in those last 40 laps, and that really, realistically, that's where all your battling is done. So it's just so hard to pick a winner at the start of the race. Like the voice of ANZCAR, he always asks me, "Oh, who's your winner? Who's your pick?" It's like, well, man, it's one of 10 to 15 guys that can win any one of these races.
Yeah, absolutely, and it definitely was the case last year. But as I say, we've got some guys in here now that are properly quick and have got it properly figured out as well. So but that being said, anybody can win. I thought Barry might have got it done tonight if things had been a little bit different, but unfortunately his strategy didn't work out. But it's an interesting season and it's fun to be part of. So we'll just keep plugging away.
Yep. All right, mate. Usual shout out and love to sponsors and supporters, mate.
Yeah, just you guys for struggling through the broadcast and getting it all together at the end. Obviously, the other Natari guys, apologies to Josh again for sticking him in the fence. Obviously, error. And AJD and fully floored.
All right, mate. Well, thanks for your time tonight, and congratulations on second place. And back for the trucks on Monday night, is it?
Yeah, as far as I know.
All right, mate. Thanks very much for your time. We'll let you get back down and do some bench racing down in the green room. And we'll pull up. Who was
Josh
our
Booker will grab.
Josh? We'll pull Josh up.
Evening,
Hey
Josh.
there,
This
Josh.
is Matt and
sorry
Mark in
about
the
that.
broadcast booth. Now you go ahead, Mark.
Hey, mate. How you going? Congratulations on the third.
Cheers, mate. Cheers.
Bit of a wheel-to-wheel battle there with Mr. Foster. He's already said that he thinks it was his fault, but yeah, he didn't realise you were still 3 wide there going into that turn.
Yeah, unfortunately, on that exit of 4, the car was up high, and that broke my momentum, and he ended up getting up the inside and we were 3 wide on the line, sort of thing. Yeah, he reckons he didn't see it still, but yeah, I thought he'd give a bit more room, but he didn't. But yeah, it is what it is. But Edward's a good driver. I've raced with him a long time and stuff. I do trust him as a driver, but he sort of messed up there a bit. But at the same time, I won't let him get away with it either, and I'll race him pretty hard as well in the coming races. But yeah, it is what it is.
Nah, you've still got to be happy, mate. Your teammate home for the win. How did you have to go into any type of fuel save mode, or did you have to start to look after your tyres at the end of either of those stints?
Yeah, so at the end of the first stint, I think it was lap 70 odd, I was good for another lap. I think I was the best on fuel mileage, but Jason definitely was quicker on the long run with his tyres, as it's shown at the end of that race as well. So fuel-wise, I still had about 2 or 3 laps, and everyone, like Jace was just chugging on their line. So, but yeah, I just couldn't save the tyres as well as Jace tonight, unfortunately. But yeah, he definitely deserved the win tonight. He was quick that first stint and then just as quick the second stint. So
Yeah, look, I'm just looking at some of your stats, mate. Going into the second half of the year, you're fairly well positioned at the moment, 7th in the championship. Who do you think you have to get on top of to keep moving up in the championship positions?
it's just I've got to just get continually being consistent the way I had the last month. The first 2 or 3 months of the series, I was DNFing pretty well for 2.5 months. Every race, getting involved with wrecks and just ripping up race cars and just sending it. And yeah, but the last month, the last 2 ovals we've been at, we've had 2 seconds. Last week, forget that because it was Sonoma.
I think everyone can forget that.
Yeah, forget the road courses. But yeah, the last 2 ovals we had 2 seconds, and tonight we had a third. So we just need to. I just need to keep on with the consistent finishes where we have been. Like tonight was the closest I've been to battling for a win that I've been in this car all year. So we're getting there. We've got a little bit more work to do, but we're definitely getting there, and we're getting close to finally snatching a win in this bloody car. But yeah, we're definitely getting there. So I think, to be honest with you, it's just got to keep on my consistency and just I don't sort of pick out drivers who I'm going to bloody race hard or whatever. It's just I've got to take everyone the same and just do my thing and just concentrate on myself and my driving, and the wins will come. So.
Yeah, that's definitely the way to go. You said you like the first 2 months of the series, you were struggling. Was that just struggling coming to grips with the new car, or was it just the new car and so many different new drivers getting that towards the front?
No, it was nothing to do with any of the drivers or nothing like that at all. It's just, I think it was myself doing silly mistakes, and I was getting used to the car as well. And unfortunately, when I was making silly mistakes, I was, back further in the field. So, amongst all the crap, as I call it, and where the wrecks is and all that sort of thing. And that's where I sort of was. And I just had to get out of that hole I was in, and I'm finally getting out of that. We're getting up the pointy end again.
Yeah. Well, it's good for leading into the second half of the season, mate. Matt, do you have anything?
No, just probably the only observation I've got is your form in the Thunder series is also picked up as well. It's have you been working a little bit harder, putting a bit of extra practice work in? Because it seems like the performance in both the Thunder and the Cup series have come up at the same time.
Yeah, I've sort of been doing a little bit more driving in the Xfinity car. I think the Xfinity car is the best NASCAR of the three, the truck at Cup and the Xfinity. I think the Xfinity car is the best, so I've been driving that probably the most, and I've probably been driving the truck the least. And like you said, the results is definitely starting to show. We're battling Hamish in Xfinity for the championship at the moment in season 2, and then we're coming up through the ranks in this. So yeah, we're definitely getting somewhere.
It's
Yeah.
good to see. Good
Well,
to see.
thanks very much for your time, mate. Before we let you go, love and shout out to sponsors and supporters.
Yeah, just to our main sponsor, Affinity Constructions Australia, for jumping on board with us this year. Mad As Designs as well, and yeah, you guys for putting out your time for the broadcast. All my family and friends that have been watching tonight as well. Cheers, guys. Appreciate you. Cheers for the support. And yeah, bring on the chase because I'm coming, boys.
Well, thanks very much, mate, and congratulations again on the third place for tonight. And good luck for the rest of the season.
All right, cheers, guys.
Mate, we'll bring up our
Race
winner if we can find him. There he is.
Yep, I've got him. Bringing him up now.
Okay. Hey, Jason, Mark, and Matt in the commentary booth, mate. Congratulations on the win tonight.
Oh, thanks, mate. Geez, I've been waiting a long while for one of them this year.
It's only been 15 rounds, mate. You'll be right. There's a few more to come. I'm sure of it.
I don't know. I think that track just suited me. I'll be back to probably struggling to make top 10s again next week and the weeks after.
Did you, same question as everyone, tyre save, fuel save towards the ends of the stints, or were you pretty good on both?
Yeah, my tyres were absolutely fine. I could have pushed harder if I wanted to, but yeah, I had to save fuel the whole time. I couldn't understand what was going on. I thought I was saving fuel, but I was still using more fuel than my teammates, and got to the line, I had 0.2 gallons remaining, so I just about ran out on the line, so I couldn't even do any burnouts.
Now that's pushing it fine. With the regards to the championship, mate, you're saying you don't think any more will come? Surely there have to be one or two tracks that are your favourites still to come.
Yeah, there's been a few that I've liked so far, and there's a few more to come. But yeah, so far this season, any time I've been doing decent, I've been getting wrecked and finishing around 10th or so when I thought I was going to finish in top 3. But yeah, just good to finally get a decent result without getting wrecked and no late yellows or anything. So yeah, that was good fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's a two of the team in the top 3. You got to be happy with that too.
Yeah, I had some good fun racing Josh near the end. I got a bit close for comfort a couple of times, but good fun. I was hoping he could hang on for second, but he just got pipped at the end. But yeah, 2 in the top 3. Great result for both of us.
Yeah, definitely. Look, your championships are tracking along reasonably well. You're in that top 10. Top 10. Sitting in third at the moment, actually. So it's always good when you can get a top 5 finish. And tonight you've done it, taken the top podium. So, Matt, you got anything?
No, I think that pretty much covers it. Yeah. Like your season's been quite interesting to see. It's like you've been really, really quiet, but then you have a look at the standings and you're in third spot. So, definitely a good points night for you. Finishing first, I think Hobson in 12th, the series leader, but of course he has that big points lead. So, But yeah, no, it's good to see you finally have a bit of a, well, I don't want to use the word luck, but finally get a good strong finish.
Yeah, cheers, mate. I don't know how I'm third in points because I think I've only had about 3 top 5s for the whole series so far.
Yeah, you've had 3 top 5s, but you've had 8 top 10 finishes, mate. So, you're still up there at that pointy end of the races where you haven't been involved in any incidents. So, it's pretty good.
Yeah, just cruising along, being consistently average.
Mate, look, if you can get a win over the top of the guys that are in this league, you've always got to be doing well. It's the Premier League of NASCAR in the Australasian area, and I mean to say I'm saying that as a league owner myself. I know that I push a lot of our guys to when they're ready to come here and race with ANZCAR. It's you've got to be happy with the race win over the guys that are in this field.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's real hard to get wins these days, and yeah, even top 3s are pretty hard. So yeah, absolutely stoked to finally get a win. I was expecting a decent result, but yeah, didn't expect to win. So stoked with that, and the competition's getting tougher every week, every year.
Yeah, there's more and more guys wanting to come and race. Like I know that I've pushed probably 8 or 9 out of my league to say, look, if you want to go race the pinnacle area, come race ANZCAR. And as I said to Ed earlier, the quality of drivers now that are coming through both our leagues is just going a step above. And realistically, if you want to race the best, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
definitely.
Bit of audio cut out there.
All right, mate. Well, thanks very much for your time. But before we let you go, love to sponsors and supporters, mate.
Yeah, got to thank Affinity Constructions Australia for jumping on board this year. They're the major sponsor, and got to thank Mad As Designs, ANZCAR for putting on a great league, and of course all the drivers that make it so much fun and make it tough to get good results. And of course you guys for putting on broadcast.
No worries, mate. Thanks very much for your time, and congratulations again on the win. And hopefully we'll see you back here again very soon.
Oh, I hope so, but I don't have my hopes very high.
All right, mate. Thanks very much. I'll drop you back down into the green room.
Cheers, guys.
Well, Matt, what a great night, really. Like we said, it's the toughest league in the Australasian area. If anyone's out there watching that's tuning in for the first time, you've got to get in and have a go.
I don't know if it's the toughest league in Australasia. But,
mate, you've got to stop selling it short. It's I've seen some other. Yeah, it's definitely got the best of Australia and New Zealand in it. That's for sure.
yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Well,
Some well-seasoned veterans in here now. There's quite a number of guys. There's a couple of guys over 300 starts and a couple more getting pretty close to 300 starts. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of experience and yeah. But yeah. All right. I think that just about sums it all up.
Yep, that's it. Back on Monday night for the trucks. Then Wednesday night for Xfinity.
That's right. Yeah.
And
So
then
on the Locked On Lads broadcasting Wednesday night, the Thunder Xfinity Series. And
make sure you tune in on that. That's I've seen a few races and it's been some good racing.
Yeah, it's pretty competitive seasons so far. The season 2 of 2022 has been pretty solid.
Yeah, definitely.
And and then we'll be back here broadcasting next week on the 23rd of June, Road America for 30 laps. So
thanks, mate. You mean I've got to learn Road America?
Yeah, yeah.
I better start doing some research on on names of corners and different things, because it's not one track I've been really taken much interest into.
No, it's a good track. I'm just not so sure about running stock cars on it. we ran the Thunder series on it last night, and I sucked. I was right down the back of the field, and I was just logging laps and couldn't wait for the race to finish. So yeah, but no, that's good. So thanks for your help again tonight, Mark. And yeah, I can't think of
Nah,
anything else. I think we yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely be back next week. And to the voice of NASCAR and in the Australian New Zealand, get well soon, mate. I've seen you up and about a little bit, so everyone's still thinking of you, and hopefully you'll get back to us real soon, and give the fans that tune in a break from my croaky voice. So Matt. Thanks for having me again. To everyone that's tuned in, thanks very much. And make sure you come back again next week for Road America, 30 laps.
Thank you for watching. Good night, and see you next week.